In 1953, Barcelona signed the greatest football player in the world. 2 weeks later, the Spanish government took him away and gave him to Real Madrid. What followed wasn't just a football rivalry, it was a war fought with tactics, trophies, and 40 years of hatred. This is the real story of El Clásico. Let's go back to 1936. Spain is collapsing into civil war. On one side, Franco, a general who wants to control everything. On the other, millions of people who don't. Barcelona is the heartbeat of Catalonia, a region with its own language, its own culture, its own identity. Franco hates all of it. In August 1936, Josep Sunyol, the president of FC Barcelona, is driving near the front line. He is stopped by Franco's soldiers and shot dead on the roadside. No trial, no warning. The president of a football club, executed. 2 years later, Francoist forces bomb the Barcelona stadium. After the war ends, speaking Catalan in public is made illegal. You could be arrested for speaking your own language. Newspapers banned. Culture erased. FC Barcelona becomes something more than a sport. It becomes the one place where Catalan identity could still exist. The one place that couldn't be silenced. The fans didn't just support a team, they were protecting something. Fast forward to 1953, Alfredo Di Stefano. At this point, possibly the best footballer alive, technically perfect, could play every position on the pitch. He was playing in Colombia, outside FIFA's jurisdiction, which meant any club could sign him. Barcelona moved first. They negotiated. They agreed terms. They signed him. Done. Or so they thought. Real Madrid also claimed they had a deal. Spain's Football Federation was called in to decide. The federation, which answered to a government that answered to Franco, made a ruling. Di Stefano would alternate seasons. 1 year Barcelona, 1 year Real Madrid. Barcelona looked at this arrangement and walked away. Historians still debate whether they were pushed. Di Stefano went to Real Madrid and stayed there forever. In the next decade, Real Madrid won 5 consecutive European Cups. 5, with Di Stefano as the engine of every single one. If Barcelona had kept him, that legacy belongs to them. Instead, it belongs to their greatest enemy. And Catalans knew exactly what had happened. Under Franco, Real Madrid traveled the world as Spain's ambassadors. State television broadcast their games. The government gave them resources, prestige, protection. It wasn't a conspiracy theory, it was policy. But what happened in 1943 tells the clearest story. Barcelona beat Real Madrid 3-0 in the first leg of the Copa del Generalissimo. Franco's security forces visited the Barcelona dressing room before the second leg and reminded the players who was watching. Barcelona lost 11-1. In 1973, FC Barcelona signed Johan Cruyff, the best player in Europe. When asked why he chose Barcelona over a higher offer from Real Madrid, Cruyff was direct. He refused to play for a club associated with Franco. That one sentence said everything. Cruyff named his son Jordi, the most Catalan name he could choose. Catalan names were still technically illegal. He didn't care. Franco died in 1975. Spain moved toward democracy. Catalan could be spoken again, but the football rivalry didn't soften. If anything, it hardened, because now both clubs could compete on equal terms. Just football. In 2009, Pep Guardiola takes charge of Barcelona. He built something that had never existed before, tiki-taka. Barcelona won the league, the cup, the Champions League, then did it again. At the center of all of it, a 22-year-old from Rosario, Argentina. He had been at Barcelona since he was 13. The club had paid for his growth hormone treatment as a child. Meanwhile, Real Madrid signed the one player who seemed designed by nature to create maximum conflict. One side, power, athleticism, showmanship. The other, instinct, creativity, magic. For the next decade, they played each other in the most watched club matches on earth. 600 million people watching. Every time. Most football rivalries are about geography. Same city, different ends. El Clásico is different. It's about identity. In 2017, during Catalonia's independence crisis, the two clubs played behind closed doors. No fans. An empty stadium, because the situation outside was too volatile. A football match couldn't happen because the country was fracturing. That's not normal. That's not sport. Barcelona and Real Madrid have played each other over 250 times. No one agrees on who has won more. because neither side would accept the other's count. The greatest player in history grew up at one club. The club that received him as a child, funded his medicine, and raised him. A dictatorship gave the second greatest player to the other. Different ends. El Clásico is different. It's about identity. In 2017, during Catalonia's independence crisis, the two clubs played behind closed doors. No fans. An empty stadium, because the situation outside was too volatile. A football match couldn't happen because the country was fracturing. That's not normal. That's not sport. Barcelona and Real Madrid have played each other over 250 times. No one agrees on who has won more, because neither side would accept the other's count. The greatest player in history grew up at one club. The club that received him as a child, funded his medicine, and raised him. A dictatorship gave the second greatest player to the other. For 40 years, one club represented power, the other represented survival. After democracy, that story didn't disappear. It calcified into culture, into the color of a shirt, into 90 minutes, twice a year, where two groups of people bring every argument their country has never resolved and play it out on grass. It was never really about football. It never is.